life planning process, as that's what my focus is going forward. And one of the most important parts of the process is overcoming obstacles. So the way I subscribe to doing life planning, George Kinder's way, is EVOKE. Exploration, vision, obstacles, and I'll skip the K and the E because that's not as important for today. But obstacles, it's the third one, but I feel like it's the one that is second most important, because the vision, creating the life that you want, is obviously the most important. And that's the one that's most exciting. But then we get to this moment of now we have these obstacles that stand in the way of preventing us from getting to where we want to be. And a lot of times the obstacles is where the paralysis comes in. You hear the saying, was it paralysis by analysis? We spend so much time analyzing everything that we never do anything. And it can be overwhelming. You may have a big vision that you want, and there's a lot of obstacles that stand between you and that, and some of them may be very big, and they're intimidating. So we just, it's too much for me to try to do, or I can't do it, and we just never get started. And really, the thing that I come back to, and I have to credit Louis, the instructor, is that it's really easy to kind of start to work through those obstacles. Now, I've talked about before, but Kinder, the process, there's 4 questions you ask. What can you do about it? How can you do it? When will you do it? And who will help you? Like, that's how you kind of work through each of the obstacles. But even when you do those, sometimes people don't know what that first step is. They don't know even what it is they can do or how they can do it. They just get stuck. They get paralyzed. And what Louis always says to say, and I really like, is just, well, what is it that you can do? If you're giving yourself all these reasons that you can't do something, I'm not famous enough, I don't have enough subscribers, whatever it might be, I don't have enough people who want to hire me for photography, all of these excuses that are, valid potentially, but also excuses at the same time, just forget all of those and what is it that you can do? So take me, I want my podcast to grow. So what is it that I can do to grow my podcast? I can come up with all the excuses. I don't have as many people that know me. I'm in Indiana. I don't have big guests, all these things. But what is the one thing I can do? Well, I can keep on recording and not stop. So what is it that I can do? I can show up every Thursday, have a Life Design Plus drop, continue to do it so long as I love it, and that's everything. And that's the first step. And then as time goes on and continue to do that, then you can ask again, well, what's the next thing you can do? All right, I can do a better job of marketing it, or getting reels, or getting it on YouTube Shorts so more people can find it. Or maybe I don't need to do anything else because I'm doing everything that I want and I'll just let it grow to where it wants to be. But anyways, the whole thing behind it is I'm sure there are things that are keeping you, obstacles in your way from living your authentic life, moving another step forward, figuring out what would be next, and you're overwhelmed. Just throw all of the overwhelm feeling away and just ask yourself, what is it that you can do? What's one little thing that you can do? And then do that. And then also the cool thing about that is if you keep on doing that, you build momentum. And momentum is really powerful. So use that question of, well, what is it that I can do? Don't tell me all the things you can't do. Well, what can you do? And then just keep on doing that and build momentum and then see what happens.
Question.
Yeah.
So what is it that you can do for your next step? Or do you feel like you're at where you need to be? Or do you feel like there's something more you still can do?
Patience is the thing I need to do next. I'm doing everything. For me to get to the next phase, I'm doing all those things. It is the videos with you. It's the daily notes. It's the podcast. It's doing all of the creative outlets that I enjoy to first further explore this idea of the authentic life and figure things out for myself, but then share that with people who are interested. I would love for things to grow faster, but the reality of it is I can't control that. So for me, the thing that I need to do is just be patient. Don't get frustrated that, I don't have more advisors that I'm working with doing the consulting. Don't be frustrated that more people in the world don't know what life planning is, to seek somebody to help them find their authentic life. Those are things that are out of my hands. All I can do is just keep doing the things that I'm doing. And I really do think I'm doing everything that I can do within my power and maintaining the balance. There are things I could do to potentially speed it up, but that sacrifice isn't there. I don't want to sacrifice the relationships I have at RLS Wealth. I don't want to sacrifice my family to make all this up. So I really do think through my personal exploration, through my personal planning, and then following my heart and listening to my intuition, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And right now, the next thing is to be patient, to surrender, and then just stay out of the way and let things go. And I have to remind myself that a lot. Like, I'm pretty good about doing that, but then every once in a while there'll be something. I'll tell you what triggers me is a lot of times I'll hear, and I know my thoughts are not my thoughts. Like, I don't have an original thought in my head. It's already been thought. Someone's already said it. I may not have heard it before. But when I hear my words or I hear my ideas on a really big podcast by a really big name, and I'm like, that should be me saying it. People should be hearing me. And so that's where I kind of get that, where I'm anxious to get things to go faster, but then I try to recenter myself, because I think if I maintain that mindset of, call it what it is, maybe a little jealousy that person has a bigger platform, if I maintain that energy, then it's not going to be good for what it is I want to do. So it's okay to feel that, but then I just need to pull myself back and just remind myself, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm being guided by the bald eagles and the numbers and all the synchronicities in life that are telling me I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. The text messages of one of my poem videos being shared with a friend of mine by a friend of theirs that doesn't know me. Like, my video was found by someone else who was shared with a friend of mine to motivate her and inspire her for something she was doing by a complete stranger. I'm getting all the signs that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So, long-winded answer. Y'all know me, plenty of words. Patience is the next thing for me.